Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Redefining Manliness. We're super excited to be with you guys again on our second ever episode. We're super stoked to be talking to you guys about today about bravery. Last week, we laid down the 9 values that every good man should have, and bravery was at the top of that list. So stay tuned for some more insight into that and what it means to be a brave man on this week's episode of Redefining Manliness.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on our second episode. We're super excited to be back. You guys showed us some great love over the first episode, so we know there's at least a few people interested in listening to us. Yeah,
man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to that premiere episode, the red carpet of the podcast. We loved all the feedback. We loved you guys tuning in, and so we're back at it again. You know, we made it past the first one, and people seem to tune in and enjoy it. So here we are. Take 2.
Yeah, now you get more of us.
That's right. There's always more to love. That's what I told myself when I gained all this weight. I was like, there's just more to love.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, today, as you heard, we're talking about bravery.
Yeah.
So we went through in the last episode and told you all the different 9 values that we think need to be included in the redefined definition of manliness.
Yeah.
And so bravery is the first one that we were talking about.
Yeah.
So we're starting with that off the top. We're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, but before we get into this, just a quick reminder to all you guys and gals out there, what are those core values? You know, obviously bravery is what we're talking about today, but we also got, we have loyalty, we have strength, mental, emotional, and physical strength. Yeah. We got honesty, integrity, respect, wisdom, self-discipline, and compassion. So it's not just about bravery. It's not just about, a bulky, muscular man or a burly man or just, rough, but there's more to the interior of that. So we just get the chance to talk about all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be diving into each one of those. Some episodes we're going to combine a couple together that go together, but we're going to just kind of hit them one by one and tackle them all. We're going to mix in some other topics as well and make sure that that it stays interesting for you guys. Yeah,
we were talking about it and we're like, we should do... Well, it was my idea. I'll be honest with you guys. I was like, we should just do 3 values per episode. And Thomas was like, you really think you're gonna fill it up 10 minutes on topic? And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. We probably need more time, especially when it comes to being brave, because I know all about that. I know about being a brave, strong man.
There's a funny story about that.
Yeah.
So. But before we get into the story, let's start here. Let's go ahead and thank the sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you guys didn't hear last time, right now, our main sponsor is my business, TMH Financial Coaching. I'm out there just trying to help people take control of their finances and help them learn to build budgets, get out of debt, and start saving. And so make sure you hit me up. All the links for my pages and information will be in the show notes, so you can take a look at that, find me, and I'll be happy to help you out.
Yeah.
And make sure you find the Redefining Manliness podcast on all the social media channels at Redefining Manliness podcast. And you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook,
Apple Podcast. Yeah. Spotify, Amazon.
Still waiting on Spotify.
Spotify's taking their sweet time.
As of this recording, but waiting on Spotify.
By the time we launch, I'm sure we'll get approved.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or maybe, Spotify is just kicking everybody off their podcast list. So, we'll just follow Joe Rogan. Wherever he's going, we'll go.
Yeah. So, you can check out our website, which is going to be listed in the show notes as well. And that will show you all the different, you'll have direct links to all the different podcast places on there. So you can find us anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with that, talking about social, we'll get back into that story in just a minute.
Yeah.
It's a good story. I'm not going to forget about it.
I hope you do.
Talking about social, you guys have shown us some love. And we appreciate that. We love seeing that you guys are interested in this. We love seeing the followers start to trend upward and the downloads increase. And so we're loving seeing that. But we want to issue a challenge to you guys. So right now on just about everywhere. We're sitting at around 50 followers, Facebook, Instagram, the
Dude,
downloads.
not bad for day one.
Yeah, downloads. We hit just at 50 for the first episode so far. I mean, we're not, doesn't mean people can't still go back and listen to it. The one that's lagging behind is YouTube, so we got it out there in case people
watched it and they're like, I don't know if I want to look at these guys for 30 minutes. I'll do audio. That's fair. That's fair.
So we want to issue a challenge to you guys. We are recording this episode that's going to be airing on the 15th of December.
That's right.
You guys will already be listening to it by then. But our next episode, since there's 3 Wednesdays in December.
Sorry, the 16th of December.
16th
is when this episode's up.
Yeah, they'll already be listening to it by then. So.
Yeah.
But the next episode is going to skip over the 5th Wednesday in December because we're only releasing on the first and third. And so the first Wednesday in January gives us an extra week. So we want to challenge you guys. We'd love to hit 100 followers on each different platform for the next episode by the 3rd episode releasing.
January 6th.
Yeah.
Come on.
So by January 6th, we want to be at 100 followers on Instagram, 100 followers on Facebook. We'd love to have 100 downloads of the second episode of the podcast. And then if you're on YouTube as well, go sub to us there. That's going to be the one that's hard because we need to get 90
one's lagging,
there.
but it's all right.
But we'll get there. So we want to hit 100 on each one of those.
I'll say we'll try our hardest to get better angles of the face or something. Maybe make YouTube a little more attractive. We'll wear a mask or something.
Yeah.
Or the episode where our wives are on. I'm sure that's when YouTube's gonna hit it. And then I'm like, I'm gonna not let you guys see that one. But no, it'll be great. Again, we'd just love to get to that 100 followers, just to hit that mile marker. And maybe we'll do something special for the 100th follower. Give you a shout out or have you on the podcast maybe, or whatever the case may be. We'll do something special for that and it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys are watching, thank you guys, but make sure you guys are sharing this. Send this to your friends, send this to your family members. I want to give a shout out to Martha. She went next day and she was like, hey guys, make sure you guys are listening to this podcast, men out there. So thanks, Martha, for that plug. I appreciate that. And just the rest of you guys get on it, start sharing it. I know you all know somebody in your life, whether it's a man or a woman that needs to get some impact on this as well. We all know somebody that could use some of this stuff. So go ahead and share it. And let's get to that mark, 100 followers by January 6th.
Yeah. And we're going to keep posting on social about that to keep reminding you guys about it. Something really cool, though. I'm a numbers guy. I love the stats.
I'm not, but I'm glad you are.
Yeah. And I've been just kind of keeping an eye on those ever since the first podcast dropped. And we had a YouTube view from Spain.
Yeah, we did.
And so that was awesome to watch.
International. That's right. Day one.
Yeah, day one. That was your cousin, right?
Yeah. So, it's a little unfair, but hey, if you want to be international, have family across the globe, and you will be quickly and fast. So, that was my cousin Alma. So thank you, Alma. Love you. You and her husband are out there, Alfredo. They've been out there for a number of years now. So I'm glad that they're watching and tuning in, and love you guys. And hey, if there's a market for it in Spain, cambiamos al español de volada y les hablamos de esto. Tomás es muy bueno el español.
Sorry.
Nothing.
I can't do that.
No, we'll do subtitles or something. But thanks for watching out there. And didn't we have a listen in France?
We did. And we don't know anybody in France.
I don't know anybody in France.
So if you're listening from France, find us on social and shout us out and let us know. No matter where you're listening from, shout out on social where you're at, because we want to know who's listening where. I mean, we hit coast to coast in the United States. We hit New York to Washington.
Come on.
So that was pretty sweet. We hit Texas, New Mexico.
Yeah, Colorado, obviously. We got to represent.
Yep, we hit lots of states, and so that was just fun to see that people are tuning in from across the country and across the world. So thank you guys for that love, and we're ready to just keep putting it out there for you guys.
That's right.
So now back to that story.
Let's go ahead. Let's just get into the topic. We don't need to share the story.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the story. You have to share the story. So this is a great story. The other night we were having a Zoom meeting to plan this, and we're talking about doing Bravery first. We were trying to decide which topic we want to go with first, and we ultimately landed on Bravery. And Jonathan so famously said, "Oh, Bravery's great. We can do Bravery. That's easy. I'm brave."
Yeah.
And without missing a beat. And I'm so thankful for Kim. She is fantastic. Without missing a beat, from the background, I hear, ha! Oh, man.
I know. So there I am, all confident, having my Zoom call, and my wife's in the kitchen doing something. And I'm like, man, yeah, bravery, easy. I know all about it. I'm a brave guy. Ha! I'm like, babe, come on. Now you're supposed to be my number one supporter. She is, but she also knows the things that I'm not so brave about. So she was like, not all the time.
She's like, I need to keep your ego in check here.
For real. She's like, get on top of a ladder, see who's brave now. I'm like, you're right.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
Dude,
not happening, bro.
I can't do it. I can't do.
That's why I don't have Christmas lights on my house.
Oh, that's fair. See, my thing isn't really heights as much as it is unstable heights.
Mine is the fall.
No, like, that's the thing. Like,
dude, if I fall, I'm either going to die or it's going to hurt.
Right. So that's my thing. If it's high enough that I'm going to die, I'm not scared. Like, I'll fall, I'm like, cool, I'll die. But if it's like at a height that I may not die and I might just end up a vegetable or break something, that's when I'm like, nah.
Bro, see, I get nervous when someone else is up high. Like, that's how bad it is for me.
Oh, man,
like,
you would have.
Just don't do it. Like, I mean, I can get up like 6 feet and, change a light bulb or something, but higher than that, no.
So like
I'll pay somebody.
Yeah, I mentioned last week, obviously I'm a worship pastor and I do a lot of production stuff and music and lighting and all that stuff. And so at our church, I have to always ride up on the big old scissor lift and move some stuff. And I'm not a fan, but I got to do it. I got to be brave. I got to step out into the unknown and just do my job. But every once in a while, it's a 2-person job that has to get done. And our maintenance guy, who's a good friend of both of ours, rides up with me, and he just loves to just shake and rattle that thing when I'm up there. Man, oh my gosh. I've never wanted to punch an old person so much. But he's just shaking that thing. I'm like, oh, if I wasn't so scared and clutching onto that thing for dear life, I'd be decking you in the face right now.
Oh, shout out to you, Rob.
Yeah, love you, Rob. But yeah, I'm like, come on, let's get into bravery. It's gonna be a great topic. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about a few things in this. We're gonna dive into the definition and kind of dissect that a little bit, which I think will be fun in itself to just kind of break down some walls as to what people might, the stereotypes about bravery. We're going to talk about a little bit of our life experience dealing with it or the lack of it. If we've got a story about that. And we're going to talk about some historical examples of bravery. Yeah. There's plenty of, historical.
There's so much to learn from history.
Yeah.
So.
And so we're going to talk about that. And then later we're going to hit some real life, hypotheticals that you might run into dealing with it. And we're going to try and give you some action steps at the end. We want to challenge you. We want you to listen and enjoy the podcast, but we want you to grow as well. Okay. We're walking through this and trying to grow in this. In all these areas, but we want you guys to do that alongside of us. So let's start with the definition. You want to tackle that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you guys can see here, the definition is having mental and moral strength to face danger, fear, or difficulty. Yeah,
and one of the other things that a different definition I saw said having courage as well. So just something to tack on there. What I love about this definition is the mental and moral strength, because there's two parts there. A lot of times we think about bravery just being physical. You've got to go and fight someone to do something brave, and that's not it. A lot of it's mental. We were just talking about heights. That's a mental thing. You don't have to fight the ladder. You just have to get over the mental block.
You just got to get over it.
The moral strength, bravery when
doing the right thing,
immoral and doing the wrong thing. You got to be able to stand up and do the right thing.
Doing the right thing when it's not the popular thing, when it's Absolutely. Not the common thing. Which nowadays we see a lot. We see people confusing what's right and what's wrong, and calling what's wrong right and what's right wrong, and. And it takes bravery to stick to your morals and say, no, I believe this, and I'm going to stand by this. I'm going to be firm in it. That takes bravery for sure.
Especially when it's not popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone's got a camera in their pocket, and if you get called on that, it's a whole different thing. But what's really the more important thing? So. And the fear or difficulty part of this definition, obviously we were talking about the fear part earlier, and sometimes just doing something difficult, doing something challenging that you're really not looking forward to, and things like that. So
and I think especially on that difficulty thing, a lot of the times we say, well, I'm good at this thing, so I'm gonna do this, or I excel in this area, so I'm gonna focus in that, and we kind of skirt difficult stuff. We kind of stay away from it, and we say, well, I don't want to fail, So I'm not gonna do things that I know I'm not that good at.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's not being brave. That's not stepping out, in boldness, stepping out into something that you don't know much about.
Yeah.
But instead, saying, hey, I don't know much about this, but I'm interested in it, or it has to get done, and I'm gonna step up and do it. That's brave.
Yeah.
Doing something that's hard for you, it's challenging for you, and yet you're doing it. And I love this. I love the definition. It says to face danger, fear, or difficulty. Too many times, we think being brave is not being afraid.
Yeah.
Having no fear.
Right.
Where we see like the Marvel character. What's that guy? Daredevil, the man with no fear, or whatever. Yeah, that's not being brave. If you're not scared, then you're not facing anything. Being brave is being afraid, but facing that fear. I can't remember who said this. It was a quote I read a while back, and it stuck with me. It says, "Being brave bravery is you being the only person that knows you're afraid."
Yeah.
So you're stepping out. You're doing something like that. You're stepping out and you're doing something, and people are like, "Wow, this guy's doing all this stuff without any fear or not." And you're like, I'm terrified.
Yeah, right.
I'm so scared to
But
be doing this.
nobody knows it.
Nobody knows that because you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you're stepping out in that. And I think that was a great analogy and a great insight into bravery. I'll have to look that up to see who said that because I liked it.
Yeah, we'll try and find that and get it on social. That's the way you described it. I mean, it hits perfectly here. Being the only person knowing about the fact that you're scared of something.
Scared.
So, yeah, that's great. So
sorry, I just remember like being the only one that you're scared. Have you seen Deadpool?
No.
So if you have kids, don't let them watch Deadpool. Totally inappropriate. But there's a scene there where he goes, "You guys know why I wear red? It's so bad guys don't see me bleed." And then he goes, "That guy's got the right idea with the brown pants," because nobody else knows that he's scared. Terrible analogy. Don't watch the movie, but it was so funny.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
Yeah.
Let's share some personal experiences.
Yeah, man.
You want to go first?
No, go ahead.
So the one that I was able to think of when we were kind of going through the planning stages of this is, if you heard in my intro from the first episode, how I kind of got started in my career was my wife and I bought a business here in Colorado. That's how we made it to Colorado from Florida. We're originally from Florida.
So you guys didn't have anybody here?
Nobody.
Like it wasn't like, oh, hey, we have family that lives in Colorado, so we want to move out there. It was like, oh, okay, yeah,
me and her. That was it. Yep.
Just buy a business and move across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just got away from everybody. Had nobody out here. Still don't. By the way. So
I mean, I'm here.
I mean, yeah, friends, but no family. No family has joined us. And so
I thought we were brothers, but
one day. But one day family might join us.
Oh, I thought one day we'd be brothers. I was thinking through those. Like, I mean, my mom's not single. I don't think your dad is either. That'd be weird.
I think that the one that I can think of was starting the businesses. I mean, we were, how old were we? We were like 22 and 21, wow. 21 and 20, something like that, super young.
Yeah,
and we just, we picked up, moved 2,000 miles across the country and bought a business that in reality we hadn't even seen. I mean, we worked at the company. It was a franchise. We knew how it worked, but we had not even, we knew the numbers and things like that, but we hadn't seen the place until we got out here. We hadn't, really looked for places to live until we got out a month before we decided to buy it. We were actually offered 2 different locations in the purchase. We were offered one here in Colorado, and we were offered one in Syracuse, New York. And
right choice.
Yeah, we definitely made the right choice. Yeah, for sure. Not to put Syracuse down, but no. Hey, I've got these mountains to look at every single day.
New York is great. It's got a wonderful city and state, but you can't beat Colorado.
Yeah, we've got a couple listeners from there, so keep tuning in.
Love you guys.
But yeah, I love it here. And moving across country to do that was a scary thing. I mean, we left stable paychecks behind. We had to start paying rent. We had to start paying bills for a business all at the same time. It was a little intense, and we had no employees when we moved out here.
So it was
my wife
full-time.
and I. That was it.
Wow.
24/7. It was actually a kids gymnastics facility, and there was one day early on that my wife got sick with some type of stomach bug or something like that.
Back in
she couldn't do anything.
Back in the pre-COVID days where you could get sick with other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so she got sick, and so I was there by myself, and we had no one else to call in and help, and so it was crazy. It was an intense time, and this most recent business, the financial coaching. I mean, that was a different type of bravery. I actually got laid off in right as COVID started to happen. I was working for a company that was sending me on temp accounting projects at various places, and they laid me off because of COVID. The projects started dropping off. People were working from home. They didn't have anything for me. And so they cut me loose, and I had just found this, certification. I was about done with it. And I was like, well, I guess I'm doing this now. Like, this is now my job. And so, I just started putting in the work and started trying to get myself out there on social and stuff like that, advertising a little bit. And, here I am still doing it. So it's,
that's awesome, man.
Just kind of facing the fact that, we lost 40% of our income. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. And, getting back out there and trying to do it and go from there. But, I'll talk more about that in the next episode. I've got some more thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, scary stuff for, from being that young. I mean,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm older now. So you don't got to emphasize so much.
It was a while back.
Okay. I mean, it was over a decade. So fair. Yeah. But so, starting as a baby and just kind of, coming out and just taking on a business. And
I was just thinking through that, like, being at that age, and I mean, I remember being that age, and I was not as brave as you, but I do. What is it? Either that's either really brave or really stupid.
Or really stupid.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think sometimes the difference between that is, did you succeed or did you fail? Like, if you succeeded, that was brave. Yeah. If you failed, that was stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, that's not really the case. I mean, if you failed, you still tried. You know, you still went out of your comfort zone. You still went big. And that takes bravery. And failing in itself takes bravery. Knowing that, okay, I might fail. Mm-hmm. And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to take this risk. I'm willing to step out in this with the possibility of failure. That's bravery. Mm-hmm. When you're going to succeed and you know you're going to succeed and you step out in it, that's not brave. That's staying in your comfort zone. If they said, hey, we want you to go take over this business that's doing fantastic, guaranteed paycheck, whether the business does good or not for the first 6 months, and all this stuff, make it cush, and you're like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're still moving, but it lacks that boldness. It lacks that braveness, that bravery. Yeah. And, doing it with the risk. That's awesome, man. And actually, I was just thinking about that because obviously you guys did well in the business. You ended up selling it. You guys had it for multiple years. It thrived under your leadership. And I was just thinking about that Latin phrase, audentis fortuna jovader. I'm sure I'm butchering it because I'm not good at Latin or anything like that. But fortune favors the brave, fortune favors the bold. And it's just kind of that making your own faith and just, if you're brave, if you're stepping out in bravery, I keep wanting to say braveness. Step out in braveness. I obviously need to touch up on my English. Step out, in bravery and boldness, and you'll have good fortune. You'll have good faith, because good things come to those who work. Yeah. I mean,
great risk leads to great reward. Yeah. And talking about failure for a second, I mean, it's a little off topic, but I heard it once said that you only truly fail if you fail and don't learn anything. Yeah. So if you fail and learn something, I mean, you failed, but you're moving forward. You know what not to do now. Yep. If you fail and don't learn anything from it, you've truly failed.
Yeah. Well, and I was talking about this with some friends this morning, actually, about how in all reality, I mean, that was the whole other topic, talking about failure. And, if you guys want to hear more about learning through failure, let us know. We'll talk about this again. Yeah, absolutely. But just touching on that, how failure in a sense is a better teacher than success. Yeah. Because success, if everything works out, then there's nothing to learn. Yeah. But if you flop and you fail, there's a lot to learn, and if you're willing to learn from it, it'll be a fantastic teacher. Yeah. So, I mean, that's another topic. Let us know if you guys want to hear about that, and we'll talk about that on another date. Yeah, but, for sure. Dude, that's awesome, man. I know you guys had moved out here when you guys were young and all that stuff, but I didn't know you were that young and that you didn't have any family or whatnot out here. So for sure, brave.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you?
I was thinking through it as you were talking. I was like, I need to step it up. I don't have any brave stories. I mean, obviously, people are like, oh, joining the military. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't do it out of bravery. I did it out of, being young and not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And, once I was in, that was a whole other story.
Sure.
Like, once I was in, I loved it. And I did it for, a patriotic duty and for my family. And definitely having that, like, if something has to happen, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I want to be the one to step into that position. And so, yeah, I'm sure, that took some bravery, but I think right now, an area that I'm really trying to be brave in my life and, growing in that is stepping into fatherhood.
Yeah.
Like it's an unknown for me. No idea what to do. Like me and my dad have a fantastic relationship now, but when I was younger, we definitely had very different views, and for the most part I was raised by my mom, so I kind of lack a little bit of that. What is a father supposed to be like? What is a father supposed to do? So stepping into this role of having a kid, I'm scared, but it's not like I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry babe, good luck. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm here. I'm in it to win it, man. So I think that's one for me right now, stepping in that bravery and being afraid, but being willing to take on the risk and take on the challenge and all of that, because it's going to be a great reward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of mine right now.
So you got some cool information about that today.
I did. I heard my baby's heartbeat for the first time today, which was awesome. I shed some tears for sure. Like, dude, I was happy that I was alone, because I mean, I don't like showing vulnerabilities. So if somebody saw me crying, I'd have to never see them again.
Yeah.
We can't be friends anymore. Sorry. That's not true. But yeah, obviously with COVID and everything, I haven't had the chance to go into my wife's appointments. So I haven't seen the ultrasounds. I hadn't heard the heartbeat or anything like that. And she had an appointment today, and we weren't expecting to do a heartbeat test. I think they were just going to do some blood work, but she asked the doctor if she could do one and get it recorded for me. So she sent it over, and that was awesome, man. I'm okay. But we also found out that next Friday we get to have we're gonna do the gender reveal test or whatever, and we'll find out that day, next Friday, if we're having a boy or a girl. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be sure to post something on that. I'm sure, whether you care or not, it's our post. So I'm gonna post it anyways.
I might live stream it.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I don't care if you care or not. I'm gonna post it anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm gonna be blowing that. I'm gonna turn into that dad that's always posting about their kids.
Yes, all these quotes that you guys have been seeing and these clips of us, that's gone here soon.
Gone. That's it.
Next few months, like
just baby
pictures.
baby. I thought this was a redefining man. No, this is just a fatherhood podcast now. Learn how to dad with me. So we'll find out next Friday. We'll have the gender reveal party. We won't do it outside because I don't want to, start a massive fire like in California. Which, I mean, half of me is kind of upset about that. I'm sure you guys all know that the big fire in California was through a gender reveal party and spark and stuff, which is sad story. But I totally wanted to do something like, get some tannerite and just like pink or blue paint and shoot it from a distance and just boom, we have a big old. But now I can't, so thanks, California.
Yeah.
But it's okay, we'll do it inside and it'll be fun.
It's snowing right now as we're recording this, so.
That is true. But dude, it's Colorado. It'll be like 80 degrees outside tomorrow, sunny. Like, you don't like the weather? Wait 5 minutes.
I was just trying to let you hold out hope.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up vulnerability, though, because I think that we're kind of just, this is the first time I brought this up to you, but we might need to make that our 10th value here. I think that there's something to that. We can discuss that more. You guys can let us know if you think that, that needs to be thrown in. But I think that part of being a man is, showing that emotion in the right time. We also talk about that.
Because we're about to disagree,
we need to be strong and things like that. In our definition of strength, when you kind of read that I don't know, the paragraph
the values,
last time, the values, that you had written out. You said strength in emotion and mentally, and yes, that's true. I think men do need to bear a lot of burden,
Yeah,
need to carry
absolutely.
that weight and be the head of the household, things like that. But I do think that there's something to be said that there are times where we need to be vulnerable. And
not all the time.
No, not all the time. I think that being vulnerable all the time translates to weakness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
but at the same time, I mean, being vulnerable, in a sense, requires bravery. About what that's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm getting to.
Like it definitely. Yeah, I understand it, and I definitely grew up in a house where like you better not cry, boy. You're gonna get the belt if you cry.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't see my father cry until I was like in my mid-20s,
right?
And I don't even remember what he cried about. I'd seen him cry twice maybe in my life, and for me, it was like, wow, because I grew up in a very much like men don't cry, men don't show emotion, and to an extent, I definitely still agree with that. I know a lot of people now are like, oh, men can just be overcome with emotion. And I'm like, nah, that's not. No, I'm sorry, I disagree with that. But I think there's definitely moments where men can show that vulnerability, and it takes bravery to do that. It takes bravery to step out and be like, hey, I'm having a hard time right now, and I have an area of vulnerability, but also being willing to carry the weight and carry the burden with strength. So,
and I think that vulnerability has a time and place.
Yeah.
Has to be brave. You have to be brave to
do it on your own time.
You have to be brave to open up to that. But that vulnerability has a time and place, especially if you're married.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with your kids. Things like that. They've got to see a whole rounded side of you.
Yeah.
Not just one side. I can actually speak to this a little bit. I dealt with this last night, actually. My wife and I I had a talk last night. It turned into a talk.
Intense fellowship, as one of our friends says.
It did not start that way, and that was primarily on me.
It usually is.
She got home from work, and I had the kids in bed, and I was just kind of trying to get to my work, and I was just burnt out. The kids are doing remote learning right now, so I'm playing teacher, I'm playing dad, I'm wearing a bunch of different hats. I'm also trying to work myself, and I've just been worn down. And so she came home and she was like, what's going on? And I just tried telling her, and the way that I communicated it didn't set well with her, and the way she responded didn't set well with me, and ended up turning out to be like I had some stuff that I needed to get out, and it took a lot for me to step out and say, like, I am dealing with some emotions right now, and I need you to come alongside me. And she did. We got to a place where we got it back together, and man, today's a whole different day. After kind of just opening up about that to her and just knowing she was there for me, that's the key to being married.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it's definitely a time and place, because again, you hold that in, and now you're still carrying this unnecessary weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, I still believe men have a burden to carry, but there's a point in time where it becomes an unnecessary burden, unnecessary weight, because there's things that you just need to let go. And deal with. So, and again, that requires bravery as well. It requires bravery if you don't do it every day. Yeah. If you're doing it every day and you're crying to mama every day, and you're like, mom, today is just not a good day. Yeah. Like, that doesn't require bravery.
Yeah.
That's just, you got man up, but
you're just being a baby.
Yeah, man up. But if you're you're, I don't want to say you're a man's man, but as a man, it definitely does require some bravery to say, hey, I'm a little weak right now. I'm going through something right now. I'm dealing with this, and dealing with the issue versus burying it and not dealing with any of that. So, yeah, man, that's bravery.
Yeah, and we talked about this last time. Make sure you have some people in your life that you can kind of get there with. So,
Yeah, it's all about that brotherhood and that family and stuff. So I'm glad that you guys are doing better. I'm glad that you're doing better and it's a
good day today.
Get that off your weight. That's right, it is.
So we've gone through some life experience. Let's talk a little bit about some historical examples that show us some bravery. Yeah. I mean, there's tons. I mean, I did a little Google search on this last night, and I found an article that said, the top 10 times, bravery's been, shown in history. Number one off the top of the list, Rosa Parks.
Oh, dude.
I mean, talk about being brave.
Yeah.
I mean, that took some guts, in that day, and with everything that was going on. I mean,
and not only like obviously mental fortitude and all that stuff, but moral strength.
Yeah.
To say this is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's unpopular.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to assume she was facing danger.
Absolutely.
From just the backlash that could have happened during that time, the fear.
Absolutely. It wasn't easy.
No, absolutely
I'm sure they
not.
probably tried to move her.
I mean, maybe it was easy for her. I don't know.
Maybe
she was just like, I'm tired. I'm just staying. Get over yourself.
She was probably a boss. She's like, move me. She very well may have been a straight boss.
Yeah.
And said, I'm not scared at all.
Yeah, I think that's an example that just kind of encompasses a lot of what we're talking about here. From the moral strength side.
Yeah.
We said we liked that from the beginning definition. Another example. God bless them, the passengers of United 93.
Oh, dude.
The country is getting attacked by terrorists.
Yeah.
Somehow they find out what's going on. Yeah. Their plane hasn't landed yet. Yeah. They've kind of caught wind of, they've probably already been
they're hijacked,
yeah. But they've caught wind of what else is going on, and that it's bigger than just their plane. Yeah. And taking back the plane and not letting
saying,
it, not
we're
letting
going
it kill
down,
more
but we're
people.
not gonna.
Yeah. Just. And I mean, you've heard the stories that, people, calling from the plane, their spouses say, hey, we're going down.
Dude. Yeah, that gets me every time. I'm like,
I don't know how I'd react to the other end of that phone call, or
gosh.
on either side of it,
Yeah.
But God bless those people.
Yeah, and now we're gonna, I'll go off on a whole other tangent.
Yeah,
but, I mean, there's a difference between the choice of bravery and the action of bravery. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm thinking through this out loud, so I may be, I may not be using the right words, but there's one like I have to make this decision. And I have, I have to balance the weight, and I'm gonna choose this, and it's gonna cause bravery to choose this. Like you having to move out here with your business, and then there's other times where the action, the choice is thrust upon you, and you have to react without prior knowledge, without preparation. You just have to react, and you have, and again, you made the example of, I got laid off when COVID happened, so I was like, I'm gonna react, and I'm gonna step out in bravery. And start my own business. And I imagine the passenger on the flight was the exact same thing. It was thrust upon them. Obviously, It wasn't like a choice. It was definitely thrust upon them, and they reacted with that bravery and said, "Hey, it's going to cost us our life, but we're gonna do something to prevent the further loss of life." So that's awesome. And then you had another example, that young boy recently. Yeah. Dude, I read about this and I saw the videos and stuff, and oh man, this boy's my hero right now.
So there was a little boy, 6 years old, is what the news reports say. I think I didn't look it up. I don't know if you want to try and find it, but I think his name was Bridger Walker, and he saved his little sister from getting attacked by a dog. He took the attack to save her.
Yeah, and he got
6 years
mauled
old, bro. And
he got mauled up. It wasn't like a little chihuahua. Like, he like this boy got, like, I saw he had scars on his face,
like crazy.
And everything.
And if anything tells you about being brave, this is what they quoted him saying. He said, "If someone had to die, I thought it should be me."
Jeez.
6 years old.
Yeah, we could learn some things from this boy, man.
Right?
Men, come on.
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, we need him to get on this podcast.
For real.
And we just need to leave because he's got better stuff to say than us.
Just take notes the whole time. Oh, man. Well, now, I mean, that's now I kind of feel stupid about my choice. Historic figures of bravery, because I went with William Wallace from Braveheart. Like, that was get me freedom. Like, that was my
historic and fictional are two different things.
Close. It was a historic fiction movie. Your heart is free. Have the courage to live. Like, it's the worst Scottish accent ever. So obviously Thomas, picks Rosa Parks and United 93 flight members and this boy, and I probably should just kept my choice to myself.
Hey, I mean, the movie is called Braveheart.
Every man dies. So not every man lives.
It's got brave in the title.
Dude, you haven't seen it.
I have not.
You haven't seen Braveheart, guys. All right, I need y'all to comment on this. That Thomas needs to watch Braveheart. If we can Braveheart. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna edit that out. I'm gonna post something about this. You guys comment on that. If we get 5 comments, I'm gonna make it easy. Make it easy. If we get 5 comments on the post about Braveheart, Thomas and I will do a Braveheart watch night, and I'll record his reaction because it's gonna be great. Because Braveheart is fantastic. Give me freedom. That's not even that. Give me liberty. That's not even that from the movie. That's who's that? That's Paul Revere. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Let's do it. Make it happen.
You guys make it happen on social.
Yeah,
we'll make it happen.
That's right. We'll use the TV for good.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are some historical examples. Some examples that you might run into in everyday life. I mean, not everyone's gonna run into a Rosa Parks or 1993 situation. Yeah. But there's some pretty basic stuff that you could run into, especially as men.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the cool thing about Bravery. It's a daily choice.
Yeah.
Obviously there's big moments in your life. There's 3 to 5 big moments that you're gonna have to step out into big, bold bravery. But you can make brave decisions every day.
Yeah.
We talked about this about, maybe you're a young man and you've got a fancy for a young lady and you wanna ask her to court. I don't know why I'm talking like that. You want to take her out and you're just like, man, I don't know how to say it, or I don't know what to say, or she's out of my league or whatever. And maybe today's the day you man up.
Hold on, pause on that. You said she's out of your league, and let me just say, if any man thinks that they have married someone within their league, they're wrong.
You're wrong.
Or dated someone within their league.
You're absolutely wrong.
They're
all out of our league.
Absolutely. I just had to put that out there.
married way up.
Yeah, me too.
There's an older gentleman in our church that he feels the need to remind me frequently, you married up. I'm like, you know what? The first time, yeah. The second time it was cute. The third time, it stopped being funny, and I lost count. But you married up. I'm like, okay, I get it. This isn't all that.
Yeah.
But it's true. So yeah, that's right. You're right. She's gonna be out of your league all the time, anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well man up and ask her out.
Yeah.
I mean, especially now, ask her to do a Zoom date. Be like, yeah, you want to jump on Zoom and share a cup of coffee or something? I don't know how it works I don't know how dating works anymore.
How can you? I mean, physical attraction is such a big part of dating, but if you have to wear a mask all the time, all you can see is...
I don't know, man. Some of these guys probably benefit from the mask. It's just half the face. Oh, he's handsome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, put your mask back on.
True.
That's why I have the beard. It's a built-in mask.
Yeah.
Hides half the face. Makes me look better than I really truly look.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're past the dating phase with that girl, and maybe you're ready to take the next step.
That's right.
But you got to get past, in most cases, you got to get past another man in her life.
That's right.
And you got to ask permission.
Man up.
I mean, I'm all about that. If I'm just saying, for any of my daughter's future quarters that are coming, you better listen to this podcast first and know that I expect you to come and ask my permission.
So I've wanted to do this, and if I have a daughter, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm just clearing my gun. If I have a daughter, like first date, this is what I want to do. Knock on the door, you're the guy. There you go. Like, oh, hey, what's going on? Come on in. And then as you're leaving, I'll be like, here you go. That travels much faster after 9:30 p.m. Yeah,
love it.
You like that, right?
Love
That's so good. So, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's
Pity the fool.
Yeah. So I'm all about that. Kind of traditional. Yeah. You need to come and ask my permission. And the way I look at it is, thank God I had twin boys first.
Oh,
because
dude.
the way I look at this, I'm lucky.
You're the third guy they get to.
If any guy comes home and makes it to me, that means one of two things: either I've got to kill him, or he's a good guy.
Yeah.
If he gets past the first two, it's for one of those reasons. He's either coming home tied up, or he's
gotta hide a body, or
so I mean, that's the way I look at it.
It's gonna be so much fun when your boys are big.
Yeah, you gotta have the bravery to step out and do that.
On the business side too,
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for a promotion, and not because like, I deserve it. No. It's because you worked hard for it and you earned it. And now you're gonna say, hey boss, I've worked a long time. I worked well.
Here are my accomplishments.
I've produced, I've overcome, I've made you money. Time to give me some of that.
Yeah.
And step up and be bold about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're looking to move. Maybe you're looking to make a drastic change in your life, and you're on the edge. You're like, man, I want to, but I don't want to leave the security of it. Especially now, like I think now people are even more so hesitant to make big decisions because, man, we don't want to leave the security that we had.
Yeah.
But if we learned anything this year is that nothing is truly secure.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Nike got it right with that one. Just do it. There's a lot of things they got wrong, but at least they got that part right. Just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously there's countless, places you could put this, and, maybe we'll try to throw some more on social, but, this podcast isn't just for you guys to enjoy. It's for us to challenge you too.
Absolutely.
And so we want to leave you guys, with some action steps that we think would be helpful kind of dealing with this. First, I think that it's probably a good idea. If there's something that you're lacking bravery in right now, write it down.
Yeah.
If you don't write it down, you're not going to find ways to accomplish it. So write down something you're lacking bravery in. Find a close friend, a spouse, significant other, someone that you can kind of talk to about that, be a sounding board for you, and say like, hey, how can I grow in this area? I'm facing this. Like, I want to start my business, but I'd have to quit my job, and that's gonna cause some sacrifice that has to be made. What should I do? Have someone who's going to tell you kind of how it is. And then no matter what, you got to take that first step. It can be a baby step, but you got to move forward and do something. So just do it is the perfect example. And then, lastly, we want to hear about those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Share that with us. Make sure that you're keeping us in the loop. If you're struggling in this area and you want, to throw it out there to us, and we'd
love to encourage you,
banter about it,
absolutely,
on the podcast, and see if we can come up with some different ideas. We'll shout you out so that we're talking to you, or we can keep you anonymous if you prefer. We'd love to try and help.
Absolutely.
But even more, we'd love to celebrate that too. If you're like, hey, this podcast made me go and take this step, which got this, let us know, dude. We want to celebrate that and just, pat you on the back because you're the one doing it. So definitely let us know.
Yeah.
That's going to be just about it for this episode today.
That wraps us up, man,
we want to shout out our social media one more time at Redefining Manliness Podcast.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that.
Yep. And go for that 100.
Come on.
That's the magic number we're going for here.
You guys got to meet the challenge.
Yeah, we got to make it to 100. Step up, help us out. Be brave and just click that follow button.
Right.
It's
click the share
click.
button. If you're already following, click that share button.
Yeah.
We'd love to get into more of your friends' ears and just share this with more people. If you think this is good stuff, leave us a good rating on the podcast stuff. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. And share with a friend, share with a family member, and somebody that you want to bless with this stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. And lastly, as we say every time, be better today
than you were yesterday. See you guys. Have a good one.
Later.